The emails that surfaced in the Epstein document dump weren't just embarrassing. They were annihilating. One message in particular, sent from Balmoral in August 2001, asked a question that would echo through courtrooms, newsrooms, and palace corridors for years to come. Have you found me some new inappropriate friends? The sender, referred to only as the Invisible Man, Prince Andrew, has never publicly acknowledged authoring that email. He has never explained what inappropriate friends meant. He has never clarified why the message was sent from one of the Queen's most sacred residences to Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman now serving 20 years in federal prison for sex trafficking, and according to legal experts who reviewed the newly released documents, that silence may finally be coming to an end, not by choice, by force. Because buried within the 943 pages of unsealed court filings is something Andrew's legal team has fought for years to suppress. A witness statement, dated, signed, and corroborated by flight logs, photographs, and testimony from 3 separate individuals who were present during the same time period. The witness claims Andrew was not a passive bystander in Epstein's world. The witness claims he was a participant. And the witness claims there's evidence to prove it. Royal insiders say the palace has been in damage control mode since Christmas. Not just because of the party at Royal Lodge, though that was humiliating enough, but because of what's coming next. In February, a second tranche of documents is expected to be released by the U.S. Department of Justice. And according to one former palace aide who spoke on condition of anonymity, those files contain something far more dangerous than embarrassing photographs. They contain testimony, direct, detailed, damning. One source close to the investigation described the upcoming release as a ticking bomb with Andrew's name on the fuse. Another said King Charles has been briefed multiple times on the contents and is reportedly preparing for what one advisor called the most damaging royal scandal since the abdication crisis. But Andrew, according to those who still speak to him, remains defiant. He insists he has done nothing wrong. He insists the allegations are fabricated. He insists that his association with Epstein, while regrettable, was entirely innocent. And yet, when asked directly whether he would cooperate with American authorities if subpoenaed, his legal team has remained conspicuously silent. That silence is becoming a problem, because while Andrew continues to live at Royal Lodge, surrounded by staff who still address him as Your Royal Highness, the walls are closing in. Not metaphorically. Literally. King Charles has reportedly instructed the estate management team to begin preparing the property for new occupants. Security has been downgraded. Maintenance budgets have been slashed. And according to one member of the household staff, Andrew has been told he has until June to vacate. He has refused. He has told friends he considers Royal Lodge his birthright. That no king, not even Charles, has the authority to remove him from a property he secured through a 75-year lease. That the entire effort to oust him is politically motivated, orchestrated by advisors who want to erase him from royal history, but the lease, as legal experts have pointed out, contains clauses about conduct. Clauses about reputational harm. Clauses that give the Crown Estate the right to terminate the agreement if the tenant brings the royal family into disrepute, and Andrew, whether he admits it or not, has done exactly that. Don't go anywhere. What we're about to reveal will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about royal protection. Who, exactly, is still willing to stand beside Prince Andrew? The list is shorter than you might think, and far more controversial. Let's start with Lady Victoria Hervey. She has been one of Andrew's most vocal defenders. Over the years, she has appeared on television, given interviews to tabloids, and posted extensively on social media in support of the Duke. She has questioned the credibility of his accusers. She has suggested the photographs were manipulated. She has even implied that Andrew himself was a victim of a coordinated smear campaign, but her loyalty comes at a cost. Lady Victoria's own reputation has taken a beating. She has been accused of spreading conspiracy theories. Her social media posts have been reported and removed. And in 2023, she faced widespread backlash after reposting a photograph of Virginia Giuffre taken from a hospital bed, with the word "karma" written across it. The post was deleted within hours, but the damage was done. Still, Lady Victoria remains part of Andrew's inner circle. She attended private gatherings at Royal Lodge in the past. She has been photographed with him at social events. And according to one source, she was on the guest list for the alleged Christmas party. Whether she actually attended is unclear, but her continued association with Andrew speaks volumes about the kind of friends he has left. Then there's Charlie Butter. He and Andrew go back decades, all the way to prep school. Butter is one of the late Queen's godsons, which places him firmly within the old guard of British aristocracy. He has moved in elite circles for his entire life. And crucially, he was seen in the company of Ghislaine Maxwell multiple times in the early 2000s. There is no suggestion that Butter was involved in any wrongdoing, but his proximity to the key players in the Epstein scandal has raised eyebrows. One royal commentator described Butter as the kind of friend who knows where all the bodies are buried, but would never admit to holding a shovel. Another said his loyalty to Andrew is less about friendship and more about shared history. The kind of history that binds people together, not through affection, but through mutual silence. And then there's Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, as she's known, has stood by Andrew through everything. The divorce in 1996. The toe-sucking scandal in 1992. The Jeffrey Epstein connections. The Newsnight disaster. The civil lawsuit. The stripping of his titles. And now, the looming threat of further legal action. She has defended him publicly. She has lived with him at Royal Lodge despite being divorced for nearly 30 years. And according to multiple sources, she has continued to describe him as a kind, honorable man, who has been unfairly targeted, but her own finances are in ruins. Court documents revealed she owes millions to creditors. Her lifestyle spending has been described as reckless. She invested in a failed cryptocurrency scheme that cost her hundreds of thousands of pounds. She has been sued by former business partners. And in 2024, she was forced to sell several properties just to stay afloat. So why does she stay? Some say it's loyalty. Others say it's dependence. One royal biographer suggested that Fergie has nowhere else to go. That Royal Lodge, despite the scandal, is the only home she has left. That Andrew, despite his disgrace, is the only person who still treats her like royalty. But there's another theory. One that insiders whisper about, but rarely state outright. That Fergie knows too much. That she was present during key moments in Andrew's association with Epstein. That she saw things, heard things, perhaps even participated in social events where inappropriate behavior occurred. And that her continued presence at Royal Lodge isn't just about loyalty, or love, or financial necessity. It's about leverage. Because if Fergie ever decided to write a tell-all book, or give a sit-down interview, or cooperate with American investigators, the consequences for Andrew would be catastrophic. So he keeps her close. And she keeps her silence, for now. Stay with us, because what we're about to uncover will make you question who really holds the power at Royal Lodge. Here's the thing about Prince Andrew. He still believes he's untouchable, despite losing his titles. Despite the lawsuit. Despite the photographs, the emails, the testimony. Despite being cast out of the royal family, stripped of his patronages, and banned from appearing in public wearing military uniform, he still believes the rules don't apply to him, and in a way, has been proven right. Because while the rest of the world watched in horror as the Epstein documents were unsealed, Andrew faced no legal consequences. No charges were filed. No subpoenas were issued. No formal investigation was launched by British authorities. Instead, he was allowed to retreat to Royal Lodge, surrounded by staff who still bow when he enters a room. He still receives his security detail, funded by the taxpayer. He still collects his annual allowance from the Duchy of Lancaster. And he still, according to one member of the household, refers to himself as His Royal Highness in private. It's a delusion, according to royal biographer Andrew Loney. But it's also a strategy, because Andrew knows that as long as he remains in the United Kingdom, he is effectively immune from American legal processes. The UK has no extradition treaty with the US for civil matters. And while British law enforcement could theoretically cooperate with an investigation, they have shown little appetite for doing so. Andrew waits. He avoids travel. He stays within the protective bubble of royal properties. And he relies on the institution he once served to shield him from accountability. But that shield is cracking. King Charles, according to multiple sources, is running out of patience. The decision to downgrade security at Royal Lodge wasn't just financial. It was symbolic. A message to Andrew that his time as a protected royal is coming to an end. The June eviction deadline, sources say, is firm. And if Andrew refuses to leave voluntarily, the Crown Estate is prepared to pursue legal eviction proceedings. That would be unprecedented. A member of the royal family, forcibly removed from a royal residence by court order, the humiliation would be total, and Andrew, for all his defiance, knows his stalling. His hiring lawyers. His challenging the lease terms. His demanding meetings with the king, most of which are refused. And his reportedly exploring options to purchase Royal Lodge outright, despite having no visible means to afford it. One financial expert, who reviewed Andrew's known assets and income streams, described the purchase idea as financial fantasy. Another said it was the desperate man grasping at straws. But desperation, as history has shown, can make people dangerous, because Andrew still has one card left to play: information. He knows who attended those parties. He knows who traveled on Epstein's planes. He knows who looked the other way, who accepted gifts, who made introductions. And if he's ever backed into a corner with no way out, there's a very real fear within palace circles that he might decide to take others down with him. It's the nuclear option. And it's exactly the kind of thing a man, with nothing left to lose, might consider. The question isn't whether Andrew will leave Royal Lodge. The question is what he'll say on his way out, and who he'll take with him. If this story shocked you, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell for more explosive revelations. Because this is far from over.